Caitlin and I had been in Quebec for about a week, and we had just finished running 38 kilometers through Fjord du Saguenay National Park for the Beluga Ultra Trail. Now, we are off on our next part of our adventure, visiting places like Rimouski and Gaspesia National Park before beginning our first ever race where we run every part of it together, step for step. We battle rain and wind along the way.
Weather said 4% chance. We got that 4%.
But get some of the most epic views as we made our way through the area with only one goal: cross the finish line together. After the Beluga Ultra Trail, our journey in Quebec continued east, deeper into the Gaspé Peninsula. We caught a ferry across the St. Lawrence River, the same waterway that explorer Jacques Cartier sailed nearly 5 centuries ago, as we made our way toward Parc National du Bec. This park blew both Caitlin and I away with its jagged cliffs, calm coves, and all the harbor seals that call the bay home. A short drive later, and we found ourselves in Rimouski, a peaceful coastal town where we checked out its restaurants and shops before heading to our stay. From there, we headed inland toward Gaspesia National Park, one of the first national parks in Quebec that Caitlin and I would visit. We stayed at Gîte du Mont Albert, a cozy lodge in the middle of the national park, and it was the perfect base for us while we explored the park.
Look at how pretty this is. This is why trail running is forever going to trump road running. You don't get views like this road running. Not even close.
We spent a few days here on the trails, winding through alpine forests and along crystal clear rivers, and it quickly became one of our favorite places on the trip. Then, it was time to hit the road again, a winding coastal drive toward Petite Vallée, where the Ultra Trail Forillon would begin.
So, as you can see, Kyle is stopped getting some drone footage. Right now we are currently driving along the coast of the Gulf of St. Lawrence, and we're on our way to our campsite to set up for the night. We'll be doing the Ultra Trail Forillon, and we're doing a 50-kilometer stage race, and today's the first part of it. Our run will start at about 5 o'clock in the evening, and it'll be just a little bit over 7 miles. So that's what we'll be showing you later today.
We had been told this would be one of the most beautiful parts of the trip, and that statement was definitely true. And by the time we reached Petite Vallée, the weather had shifted a bit and it got a bit colder right as the race was about to begin.
All right, everyone. So, second race of this trip, it is the Ultra Trail Forillon, which we will be running the 50K stage race. We are very excited to be running it. Just went down, picked up our bib. Also had to pick up a couple mandatory gear items. Our headlamp actually was not working, so we had to pick up a new one. And then we needed some matches. We picked up a lighter, things like that, but everything else is good to go. So now we're gonna start packing up our stuff, getting ready. It starts here in about an hour and a half, but we have to be down at the bus here in about an hour. So gonna go grab our stuff, grab our kit, get everything ready to go, and then it's stage 1 of the Ultra Trail Forillon 50K. Very, very excited.
Day 1 of the Ultra Trail Forillon starts right on the shoreline, where we ran on the rocky beach for almost 5.5 kilometers. After that stretch, the route jumped on a road before turning onto the trail for the only real climb of the entire day for around 230 meters, or around 750 feet. From the top, we followed the trail back down to the coast and the finish in Petite Vallée for just under 10 kilometers, or around 6 miles.
Right, rain has come in. Weather said 4% chance. We got that 4%. So it's fun though. I don't mind it. I told Kayla I wouldn't mind if it rained. I think she feels a little bit differently, but I don't mind it personally. Makes it a little more fun. Wow. And we got a rainbow too. Oh, look at it. You got the whole thing.
Oh my God.
I've never sounded so excited over a rainbow. So we will be heading right down that way where all those headlights are, sort of. Right down there. But man, we got a giant cross right here. Sunset peeking in the back. I keep saying it, but this is life. It's life. Look at the recliner. I'll sleep up here if I have to. Oh shit. All right, we just finished stage one, as you saw. Had a lot of fun. I think I mentioned this, but it's actually fun when you take your time and just enjoy the race, which is what Caitlin and I both did. Like, it's amazing when you don't try to kill yourself in a race, how much fun you have. I actually feel good. So Caitlin, what did you think day one?
Very fun. I feel better than I thought I was going to. As Kyle mentioned before, we've been fighting a cold a little bit, but I feel good. I can breathe.
Yeah, you can probably hear it in our voices right now. We are a bit stuffy. So we left bits and pieces of us along that course. So now we're walking to our campsite where we're gonna get changed into warmer clothes, less wet clothes, because we did get rained on a lot. And then probably find some food, maybe drive, get some food, or maybe just snack on what we have in the car, figure it out, and then go from there. So yeah, see y'all on day two.
Day 2 was the longest stage of the Ultra Trail Forillon, just over 23 kilometers, 14.5 miles, and over 800 meters, about 2,700 feet of climbing. Right out of the start, the route headed uphill on wide dirt trails into the biggest climb of the entire race, before dropping us back down toward the water. From there, the course turned into a mix of open grassy areas and rolling trails along the coast, with a series of smaller climbs and descents as we worked our way to the end of the peninsula and back toward the finish.
So we are almost 4 miles in now. It was a lot uphill for a while. Now we're on the downhill section. This is the biggest hill of the entire race. So once we get this out of the way, it's going to be mostly flat. But absolutely beautiful views so far. And the course has been a ton of fun to run. Alright, about 6 miles in. Just had a little mix up as we came to the cross junction where we had actually passed earlier, but the signs were a little bit confusing. So I think some 50Kers got a little mixed up, but we are on the right track. So everything's good to go now. So to elaborate a bit, that junction was about the probably 4 or 5K mark, I think, where we actually continued up the tallest climb of it. Then we wrapped around and to the first aid station, went back up a climb, and came to that same intersection. The problem is, coming at it from a different angle, it's not as easy to see that's that same intersection. There were signs saying TF52, which is technically what we are running right now, but that was for earlier to help us. So some 50Kers made a right, so they're actually unfortunately going to do that loop again, whereas we were supposed to make a left, which will take us down to the bottom of this long peninsula before wrapping back toward the finish line. So all good on our end, not necessarily on others.
Sponsor me. I'm not a baby, but sponsor me.
All right, as you saw, we just left the second aid station. Very lively, very energetic. So just Caitlin picked up some, I think, water. Some water. And ate her applesauce. And yeah, now we're headed on the downhill and we are headed back. I don't know if you can hear me right now because of the wind, but we are headed back toward the finish line. But look at these views. By the way, such a great aid station when you roll in and people are yelling, screaming, got a guy in pajamas jumping up and down. It's always a good time. So, excellent job, Ultra Trail Forillon. So we finished. I didn't get the best view of the finish line. I was trying to get Caitlin, I think I just spit, trying to get Caitlin across as best I could. Caitlin, how do you feel right now?
I feel horrible. I have the best cheer person slash fiance in the world because I wouldn't have made it through that race without him.
It's not hard when all I have to keep saying is, let's go, you got it. So now I'm gonna enjoy a sandwich, a nice Pilsner, and let Caitlin sip on her tailwind. But yeah.
Come back to her.
Tough day 2 for Caitlin especially, but overall, beautiful course again. Tough one, especially compared to yesterday, so it seems a lot of people are hurting as they're coming across the finish line, so it's not just her. But an awesome job to Caitlin on finishing day 2.
Day 3 started at the Cap de Rosier Lighthouse, the tallest lighthouse in Canada, and followed the coast before turning inland toward the biggest climb of the day. The route carried us up to Mont Saint-Alban, a steady ascent that topped out with some of the best views in all of Forillon. From there, the course dropped into a series of smaller climbs and descents as we made our way back toward the water. And with the finish line waiting by the coast, this final stage felt like a victory lap.
All right, good morning, everybody. It is day 3, the last day of the stage race. Got about 9 miles, about 15K today, and then everything's finished. Now, the fun part is Caitlin and I do not have a ride back to get back to where we're staying, so we may have to end up walking afterward, but you know, it is what it is. We'll make it work, but I'm sure today's going to be a fun day, especially with the view we have off to our right, which I will show you as soon as we get past this little house here. Caitlin, anything to add about the race?
Super excited. My legs feel good. I feel a lot better than I thought I would after the last 2 days, so I'm excited to finish strong.
Yeah, and with views like that, hard to beat. So let's do it. Got a little seal line right here. I don't know how well you can see that in the camera, but you can see them doing some stretches or something over there. Oh, two of them lying right next to each other. You can see where we started all the way out there. Little tiny lighthouse. That was the start. Wow. So we're about halfway, a little over halfway roughly. Look at that view behind me. That is beautiful. And right over there is about where we started. Came along this coast, all the way up. It's been an absolutely beautiful course the entire way. Good job. All right, everyone. So that is the last stage of the 50K stage race. Another beautiful day, and absolutely loved it. I think we finished in around 2 hours, 20 minutes, something like that. I wasn't really paying attention when I watched, to be honest with you, but phenomenal race. Couldn't have asked for a better first stage race. Caitlin, what do you think?
Basically the same as what he said. Couldn't have asked for a better stage race. The views the whole entire time were beautiful. The whole course was runnable. It was well marked, and there's chili at the end.
Yeah, and the volunteers do an excellent job. There's volunteers directing you during the way. At the top of Mont Saint Alban, there was even a volunteer that told me different things that I was looking at, because I obviously would have had no idea. And then at the aid stations, everyone makes sure you get what you need, you know where you're going, all that different stuff. So shout out to the volunteer crew, especially from Ultra Trail Forillon. You guys are ultimately the ones that make this race. Without you, we wouldn't have made it 50K across 3 days. So definitely an excellent race to check out, and can't recommend it highly enough, especially the stage races, as you get a chance to explore more of the region than you would if you just did a standard race in a day. So check it out, and I'll have more coming from this. Keep an eye on my socials and everything as well. And until then, see you guys next time. Run fast, travel slow.
After finishing the Ultra Trail Forillon, we packed up the car and continued west along the Gaspé coast toward Carleton-sur-Mer, a quiet seaside town tucked between the mountains and the bay. We stayed up on Mont Saint Joseph, where the views stretch out for miles, and while we were there, I met up with a local runner named Gaston, who took me out on the trails around the mountain and showed me just how fit a 60-year-old can really be. From there, we headed back to the States to Acadia National Park, where I spent a few days exploring the park with my family, which was the perfect way to wind down after the races. And finally, it was time to head home. Looking back at the full loop, from Tadoussac to Gaspesia, Forillon, Carleton-sur-Mer, and Acadia, it felt like the kind of trip you only get once in a while. A mix of great trails, great people, and a huge part of Quebec I won't forget anytime soon.